you what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I am so glad you're here. My name's Leslie. If you're new here, welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to have you in my kitchen. I am super excited with the way I'm starting out this new year. I have started to super duper enjoy doing themed meals. So this week is going to be a little bit different, more different than the other themed meals I've done. So what we're going to do this week is Italian theme. We're going with an Italian theme, and each day is going to be a different recipe, and then we'll end the week with our big family meal of Italian food. So a lot of these things are things I can make ahead, store, either freeze in the refrigerator, whatever. So with that being said, you may not always see the taste test at the end of the video. However, today's you will. So, or I think you will. But, and let me just put this disclaimer out here. I am not Italian. I'm just not Italian. And I have not done enough research to find out if the people I've gotten these recipes are fully Italian. So let me just say it is Italian-like. So if you're Italian and I screw something up, just please know I'm putting that disclaimer out here. It is Italian-themed, not necessarily authentic Italian food. So hopefully it'll come close. I normally make my own pasta, and that's not today's video. We're going to get on to that in maybe Thursday's video. I normally make my own pasta. However, I am not going to make my own pasta on this channel, but if you want to see that, there are videos out there of me making my own pasta. So, I am making today, we're making biscotti, and I'm going to make an almond. I tried to decide, do I make a lemon? Do I make a vanilla with chocolate chips? Do I make a chocolate? Or do I make an almond? So I asked my son, who is the food guru of the family, and he says, Mama, if you're going with Italian, I would stick with almonds. So that's what we are doing. We're sticking with almond. So in my oven right now, I have some almonds toasting. I'm following a recipe, but I am venturing a little bit, just in normal Leslie style, just so you know that's the way I roll. I don't follow a recipe to the T. I tweak things as I know I will like them and prefer them. So I'm actually toasting up some almonds just to get a little bit more of that flavor. So I have a cup. It called for slivered almonds. I have sliced almonds, but that's okay. We've got those going in the oven, toasting them up. I'm going to get everything else I need, and I'll meet you back right here. So they're calling for snow as maybe sometime this week or next week. I don't know. I never know. But anyway, I thought I would use my Let It Snow bowl just because if it's going to be cold and where the Arctic blast is fixing to make it here to North Carolina, and if it's going to be cold, then I'd rather have snow if it's cold. So, but let's get ahead with this. We're going to add, I think it's 3 cups. Yes, right at 3 cups of all-purpose flour into our bowl. We're going to add in a cup of sugar. I need to grab a whisk. Let's see. I'll get you guys turned down so you can see what I'm doing. Hang on. Let me grab a whisk and I'll be right back. So far I have 3 cups of flour, a cup of sugar. We're going in, I think it was a ½ teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of baking powder, which that seems like such a lot to me, but I've never made biscotti, so there we go. Tablespoon of Clabber Girl baking powder, And so we're going to just whisk this together. My sugar had a few clumps. Oh, gracious. My sugar had a few clumps, so I'm feeling for those. I guess some moisture at some point got to it. Okay, we're going to set that aside. I'm going to bring this bowl, which I had my flour in, and we're going to mix together a half a cup of oil. I have 3 eggs over here. Let me check on my almonds real quick. All right, so we're going to add in our eggs. And these were at room temperature. Whoop! I just squeezed that one to death. All right. So let me grab a fork real quick. All right, and to that, we're going to add in about a half a tablespoon, which is 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. And this is another thing I think is quite a lot because almond extract is really strong, but it calls for a tablespoon. So we're going in with it. Now my almonds just came out of the oven and they are to perfection, in my opinion. They are toasted just golden brown, absolutely beautiful. All right. So we're going to add this into our dry mixture. And I've got 2 utensils over here. I wasn't sure which one would work the best, whether it would be the Danish dough hook or this just plain wooden spatula, which is what I think I'm going to start with. And we're just going to stir this around and make sure everything is incorporated well. Once it gets incorporated well, we will then add in our almonds. Like I said, it was a cup, and I used sliced almonds, but the recipe actually called for slivered, but I don't see why it would matter. Maybe the Danish dough hook would have been better. I love it for bread, so I don't know why I thought it wouldn't be. So let's give it a try. Let's clean it. It smells heavenly. That almond extract, oh my goodness. But now almond extract is super strong. So, oh yeah, that works good. If you guys don't have a Danish dough hook, get you one. Especially if you're a bread maker. I mean, it's really good for anything. But when I incorporate the almonds, I am going to use that wooden spatula. I just think it will go better. Sorry, I'm going to cut the camera off so I can bang this off, and we'll see you right back. All right, guys, let's add in our toasted almonds. Aren't they absolutely beautiful? I think I got them out in just like the absolute perfect timing. All right. Now, I'm going to finish stirring these in and I'll bring you right back. In all honesty, it seems a little wet to me, but I'm going with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my hands, and I'm going to make, the recipe says to make it into 3 logs, but I think I can do it into 2. We're going to try for 2. If not, I'll go for 3. But let me wet my hands and we'll scoop. Well, let me go ahead and scoop some out first. I'm going to go ahead and scoop it into 2 places, and then we'll work on the forming part of it. Tell you what, I'm going to use this spoon. Y'all remember, this is my first time, and I'm just bringing you guys along for the journey. And we're going to do this together. And if I make mistakes, you'll learn what not to do. Right? The best way to learn, don't you think? All right, now I'm going to wet my hands, and we're going to kind of form this. That's not what the recipe says. That's what Leslie's brain is telling her to do. So, all right, it actually kind of made a perfect, oh, I don't want it that wet. It actually formed right well into 2 logs here. I really don't have much forming to do. So, let me grab a paper towel. My hands were a little too wet right there. Okay. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to get this in a 350-degree oven, and we'll bake it for about 25 minutes. And then we'll come back and I'll show you what we do next. So guys, you may have just noticed that at the beginning of the video, I had 2 sets of rings on one hand, one on the other. And then when we came back, one was not on my hand and one was, and you think, oh no, there's a ring in the biscotti. No, there's not. I actually was in the process of taking my rings off and putting them away, and got sidetracked and forgot to take this hand off. So anyway, there's not a ring in the biscotti, so nobody will end up getting proposed to with my biscotti. Okay, everyone, the biscotti has come out. As far as the initial baking of it, you bake biscotti 3 times. So my first thought was I was going to try to take a spatula, lift it off this pan, and put it on this cutting board and then cut it. But I think what I'm going to do is actually just cut it right here on this cookie sheet. And if I tear the parchment paper, we'll just transfer it over to another one. And I'm going to try, we're just going to slice it. Oh, it's very crumbly. Maybe I should let it cool a minute. I'm wondering if I should let it cool. Let me let it cool a minute because it is super crumbly. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer this piece over here. But, and this piece. But let me let it cool just a minute, and then we'll come back and slice it. So, okay, everyone, let me make sure my battery is still on. Good. Yep, we're good. I have cut all the biscotti. It was very crumbly, especially the first one, and I think I just started cutting it without letting it cool. The second loaf, cut much better. But you're going to turn it cut side up. You know, one of the cut sides is going to be facing up. And we're going to bake this again. Let's see, I think 10 minutes. Yes, for another 10 minutes, we're going to go in and bake it for 10 minutes, pull it out, flip it over to the other cut side, another 10 minutes, and then we'll be done. But hey, I've been nibbling. Oh my goodness. It may be crumbly, but it sure is good. All right, I can't wait to dunk this in a cup of coffee. Oh my. We're going to put you on there. You're just a little end. That was just a little end piece, but we're going to put it on there. All right. It may not make it. It just broke, so I'm just going to eat it. It's good. Oh my. All right. We're going to bake it 10 minutes. Pull it out. Flip it over. Another 10 minutes. The first 10-minute bake is done, so I'm just going to carefully try to flip these over. They are nice and toasty. This one's breaking apart, so I'm just going to go ahead and help it. And break it. There, that one's breaking too. This was the first loaf I did, and I just don't think I waited to let it set. But you know what? I'll learn from my mistake and do it differently next time. And what I'm going to do after I bake it this other 10 minutes, I'm just going to cut the oven off and leave them in there to dry out for a bit. Because you know your biscotti needs to be, and I probably cut these a little thick too, but that's okay. All right, so it's going back in for another 10 minutes, and then I'm just going to cut the oven off and leave it in for a little while. Well, okay, everyone, here is a plate full of the biscotti. I fixed this plate up so I could take a nice little picture for a thumbnail. And I do have more over there on the cookie sheet, and I am so tickled. I think this absolutely turned out better than I could have ever imagined. And, you know, I don't know if the texture is perfect, but I know the taste is perfect. So I am so happy with how it tastes. And so Bryant and I will give this a try with a cup of coffee when we get in later tonight. We're going to go see Caroline and the boys. And Jamie is at work, so we're going to go see Caroline and the boys. That's usually our nighttime routine stop on the way home is stop by Caroline and Jamie's house. But all right, we'll see you when we make coffee. Look who's home.
Hey, everybody.
And I got the pieces that broke. I just got us a couple of those because we're saving these for our big meal. And this will be, I guess, maybe an appetizer or...
When are we having a big meal?
It'll probably be later on in the week because each day this week has a segment of that meal, and we'll try it out.
What are we going to eat till we get to the meal?
I don't know. Sandwiches? I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Oh, wait. We got our coffee cups mixed up.
No, we don't.
I have our coffee cups mixed up. Okay. Now.
Have you guys ever heard of that church before? Browers Wesleyan? Check it out on Facebook.
We should be dipping this in espresso, but it's just a regular cup of coffee.
Yep. Here we go. How many times do I dip it?
I don't know. How many times you want to.
Got almonds in it. That brings it to life, doesn't it? When you dip it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it softens it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
That is really good. It's not overly sweet, but it's sweet enough.
Mm-hmm. Perfection.
Really good. That's really good right there.
I have no idea. I think that once they came out and they baked on all 3 sides, I was super happy with the texture at that point. I do think I cut the one loaf before it cooled, and I shouldn't have cut it quite so fast. But
what else did you learn?
I learned I really like this. I thought a tablespoon of almond extract
was enough.
Was way too much because I only use like a half of a teaspoon in my cake.
You could add some more.
But I think the tablespoon is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Must be good. He went back and got another piece.
I had that supper. Have a.
Oops. Talk while I eat.
Mm. It's hard for both of us to talk when I'm out full.
I know. Really good.
How else could you serve it? I'm not Italian.
It's just a coffee. It's just a coffee biscuit.
Hmm.
Biscotti.
Go put gravy on it?
No, not that kind of biscuit.
Oh. Not like a cat head biscuit from the South?
No.
But it's really good.
But you could make lemon biscotti. You can make chocolate biscotti. All kinds. The flavors are endless. And now that I know how.
It's like tea and crumpets.
Yes, it's like a crumpet.
I get it. It's like
an Italian crumpet.
Tea and crumpets. Do I need to hold my pinky out?
No, you need a different cup.
Like
no, you.
Huh?
It needs to be facing upward. Up. Your pinky needs to be up, not down.
I have no proper etiquette when it comes to the fine dining of life.
I brought him to where he is today,
which is a long way from where we started. A long way.
Okay, guys. Yes. All right, guys. This is just the beginning of this wonderful week of Italian dishes. And so tune in tomorrow to see what we do next. I really haven't. It's between 1 or 2 things that I'm going to do tomorrow. So just have to stay tuned and watch.
I've got one too.
You've got one?
Surprise. Mm-hmm.
A surprise? Mm-hmm. Hey, guess what's coming up this week?
What?
You don't know?
Our anniversary. Yes, our anniversary is Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I've got it's Italian, so I'm going to do spaghetti and meatballs. Chef Boyardee.
Chef Boyardee.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Actually, I like the Aldi brand best.
she panicked because she thought, you're not getting in my kitchen. I could see her look.
So anyway, yes, our anniversary is falling in the midst of all of this. So you have to stay tuned to see how we celebrate that. So you may get some extra videos this week.
We're going to church. It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday. We go to church.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We'll celebrate on Tuesday or Thursday. Probably Tuesday because I've got, I think, some counseling appointments on Thursday.
And I have a doctor's appointment on Thursday. And I don't know if they're going to do a procedure or not on Thursday. But if they do, I probably won't be able to eat. So we need to celebrate on Tuesday.
So give us a thumbs up here.
And Wednesday for breakfast.
Like this video, share this video, hit the subscribe button. We hope you enjoyed all of it.
Remember, guys, we love you. And if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.
Even Scotty.
You don't fry biscotti. You bake it.
You bake it. Just kidding.